I've had the privilege of sitting down with some incredible ranchers over the years. People who've built something from nothing, survived things that should have broken them, and came out on the other side with something worth passing down. At the same time, I also visit with ranchers weekly who are struggling, whether in a startup business or trying to turn around a failing one. They're tired and frustrated, and they're wondering if they're on the right track. That's what this show is about. I'm John Haskell, the host of Ranchonomics, the podcast dedicated to helping ranchers win at business. Ranchonomics Stories is where we go deeper with longer conversations that describe the journey behind the success we see today, the hard years, the turning points, and the lessons that only come from living it. I want these stories to inspire us to keep going even when it's hard, to remind us that success really is possible, to drown out the voices that say it can't be done, and to reinforce our resolve to keep going until we win. Welcome to Ranchonomics Stories. Well, welcome to the Ranchonomics podcast. I am here today with my good friend Wally Olson, and we are joined by Steve and Sara Hisel down in southern Kansas. Steve and Sara, welcome to the podcast.
We are honored to be here, John.
Well, that's very nice. We are going to talk today a little bit about the Hisel's story. I have for a long time been fascinated with how businesses get started and how they grow and sort of what the story is behind that. And that's what we're going to talk about today with the Hisels. There is a wonderful book we might reference a few times today called The Zigzag Principle. It's by Rich Christiansen. It's a great little book. It's available on Amazon. And it describes the story of Rich's experiments in starting businesses, where he always finds that he might start wanting to do one thing, and sometimes the end product is very different, and sometimes the path between where he wants to get and how he gets there is pretty raggedy and pretty windy. So, Hisels, I feel like you've been on that kind of journey, and I'd love you to tell us about how it's gone for you so far, because I think it's been a bit of a roller coaster and hopefully a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Fun is definitely the correct answer.
Hindsight.
Yes. To say that it was fun all the time is definitely a lie.
Well, that's absolutely true. And I talk to a lot of people that are kind of in the middle, and maybe they're in the not so fun parts. And it's important to share these stories when it is fun, because sometimes we need a little hope to get us through the not so fun parts, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about how you got started and just go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Well, yeah. So Sara and I, we met in 2012 at Oklahoma State. Both grew up with ranching backgrounds. I grew up in the Sandhills in Nebraska, and she grew up in south of Tulsa around Eufaula, Oklahoma. Both had a passion for the industry. Both wanted to be involved, very involved through the university, different clubs, organizations we were part of then. Just had this idea that we wanted to do this one day, stepping out on our own.
And you didn't come from family operations necessarily, right?
We tried to go back to them. They did not
Okay.
work. We lasted a year.
Yeah, we'll get that. That'll come up in the story, but it's an interesting part. But yeah, starting out, we both knew we wanted to do it right after we graduated from Oklahoma State. I actually took a job working for the university, running wheat pasture cattle for almost 2 years. We did that. And then it just kind of hit home. Like, I was traveling 45 minutes one way out to wheat pasture every day. And Sara was working in town, and found out we were pregnant with our first kid. And so that's when this idea of let's go find a management job somewhere. And so we started searching, ended up in southeast Oklahoma. And we were there on a little cow-calf deal for almost 3 years.
That was the longest we had lived anywhere until this year.
Yeah.
We've now been here for 4 years.
Yes.
The vagabond cowboy life of putting all your stuff in a horse trailer and making one trip, Brad.
Yep.
Yeah.
10 years, we moved, 8 times?
Yeah, but our 10-year wedding anniversary.
But anyway, we did that. And then after that, Sarah's family had a place there.
Can I give a little piece of advice on moving? Never
Yes.
burn your boxes, ladies. Never burn your boxes.
That is a book title by a friend of mine. If you
I know. I have her book. I haven't read it yet.
a good book, also available on Amazon or on her
Is
website.
it good? Oh, I
Yeah.
bet it is.
She's
gonna
hilarious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, then we decided after that deal we would give the family operation a try. And we were with Sarah's family for almost a year, and it was just kind of just a clash there, but it was good. It was something we both needed to do to realize that that's not.
Yeah.
We needed to do our own thing. We just had passions and wanted to do our own. And yeah, it was just.
From there we went. So we back to back, we did family operations.
Mm-hmm.
I think knowing when to walk away is a good strength without burning any bridges. So
Yeah, good.
I'm glad we walked away when we did.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, we kind of did hit one of those zigzags because we always, we're like, man, we could go back, work for the family, and take over an operation for whether it be her family, my family.
We had dreams there.
Yeah. And that's, I guess, with the zigzag thing, that's kind of the first zigzag that happened. We're like, okay, now we're stepping into this different lifestyle. Let's go find a good ranch to work for. So,
which is humbling.
Yeah.
And I don't want to belabor this too much, but for people that are in it, I mean, this is a heart-wrenching process often, right? Because there's so much stuff tied together in it.
I grieved for a few years.
Yeah.
To be honest, because I mean, we had building plans but you just knew when our marriage was getting, that was I don't know if we need to go there, but it was getting stressed and we're like, we can't.
Yeah.
That was utmost important.
Yeah. That could be a whole other...
Real quickly, sorry. One other thing that I find over and over again with people that are very successful is they do often wind up prioritizing the, relationships, marriage, that sort of thing over some of these opportunities that maybe not be the best in the world. So that's something I've talked to a number of people about, that's sort of a good place to start if you're going to make priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because no one's happy if your home's not happy.
Right.
So
I know. Old rancher I grew up with, Mr. Burtis, always said, when you go to manage a ranch, he said, if you got hands, said you make sure the wives are warm and dry and the stools flush, and life will be very good. But if the wife isn't happy, the hand isn't happy. So, doing very well for me.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. So we're in our first or second big zig, huh? Or zag?
Yeah, we thought we did. We bought our first cows with going to his family's place, but then that was a big zig we didn't see coming, but it turned into more trucking than cattle. And so that's not where Steve wanted to be.
No. And that was our first learn that I did not know anything about cattle marketing in that side of the business. And so
we just bought pretty cows.
We bought a really nice set of first calf heifers and right at the top, and then hit a downturn, and we ended up having to sell in the downturn. So
thankfully we had a job.
Luckily there was a check every month that was really nice. And we'll get to that part later. That's always kind of been, a lot of people don't think about when they step out on their own, is that monthly check it's pretty nice to have that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, for my family's place, we were like, okay, let's go find a really good ranch to work for. And I was always drawn to Deseret, the Mormon church, and all their big ranches. Like, it's always been appealing to me. I liked their style of management. It was always interesting. And so for a year there, we applied for different jobs with them, and then COVID hit, which it's a funny story. We thought where we are now, we were going to be here 2 years earlier because we interviewed for a unit manager position, and they were very promising with us and all this stuff. And so we were super excited about it. And then through COVID, they forgot to return my call. And so a few months went by. And so finally I called Human Resources, and they're like, nobody called you? Like, no, I never got a call. They said, well, you were second in line for the job, but here's a list of other jobs if you're interested. So,
I mean, that was like 4 or 5 months of thinking, we're moving soon.
Yeah.
I packed boxes. I was like,
oh man. Yeah.
We're going.
But then it was, again, the Lord just kind of had this direction for us and sent us to the Rex. And we absolutely love the Rex. If we never got an opportunity to do our own thing, we would definitely still be at that job. Like, we just love the Sandhills. We love the community. We love the people.
That's where our stockmanship started for us.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
And so the Rex Ranch is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints ranch in western Nebraska, right? It's kind of spans a whole bunch of country there, kind of between Alliance and Ogallala and, along Highway 2 and south.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of where we got started into, the stockmanship side of things. And they're also very big on educating their employees, being transparent, going through the numbers, showing you how their systems work. And so that kind of opened the door for us to these ideas of, okay, now that we can kind of see how these numbers work and different things, and this idea of how important education really stuck with me. And so, that would have been 6 years ago now. And that's when me and the unit manager, we loaded up, went to Wally School. And that first school was kind of the first point I realized, looking at the numbers that we were doing and working with it, hey, we can do this on our own. Like, this is possible. Is it risky? Yes, but it is possible. It can be done. And kind of just to stop right there, just how important education is. You look at the cost of the school or the different things and you're like, oh, I can't afford that. But man, the return on that is just so great, so good. The networking opportunities, the people you meet has just been phenomenal. We work with a lot of the people we met at Wally schools now, and it's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Who did you go down with?
Tom Dreeling.
Yeah, good.
And I think that's the first time I met you too, John, was at that
I
school.
believe so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And don't forget Frank was there. Frank Thompson.
Frank Thompson was there too.
Neighbor there.
Yep.
That was a fun time.
Yes, it was.
Fun. And man, the conversations that we had in the car on the way back after that school was just great. Like, again, this idea of networking and bouncing ideas off other people, like, it is so valuable. There's so much good that comes from it.
Can I say up to this point too, every employer, the reason we move so many times is just broken promises and jobs not looking like you wanted them to look. And I think one, talk to people that have worked at operations. We never would talk to past managers or anything like that. But that is so common that there's just, it's not as you thought it would go. And then continued education, if they can push you towards that, and I mean, everyone benefits from that. But that was the first employer to offer that.
Yeah.
And I think on that topic, I am a fan of every time somebody jumps me and says, man, it's hard to find good employees. It's like, well, it's also hard to find good employers. And I think in our work with Emily, that's some of the stuff we've really tried to do is help people be a better employer so that good people will stay, right? Because that's the hardest part.
I know.
Finding good people.
Talk about being an employer.
Yeah.
Well, I'd go down and spend weekends with Bud and Williams, and one weekend with Bud Williams is how to be a good boss. And boy, I learned a lot real quick there about how to be a good boss. And so it's very important.
Agreed.
And I mean, it's a huge benefit though to see so many different operations, different sets of pens, like different ways of communicating or not communicating, which is probably the more common way.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we saw a lot. We were prepared every time for our own thing, knowing kind of more how we wanted, to place things. And
you work around all these different facilities and different pens, and like, we always just wanted our family to be able to do what we do and be involved. And you're like, how do we set this up or find a place that's going to be extremely family friendly so they can learn these things?
Yeah.
Not that we don't want to see our kids go through trials, make mistakes, learn on their own, but like, if you can set them up in the right direction to begin with, like, they're going to be so much further ahead. So
yeah, that's
anyway,
awesome.
Back to the story.
Good. We're zigzagging still.
But there after Wally's school, we got really serious about finding our own place and really started looking hard. And we've found this place in South Central Kansas. We're close to Maple City, Kansas, and just looked at it. We're like, okay, the stocking rate looks really good there. That was one thing we looked at. We knew some people in the community already beforehand. But we would have loved to stay in the Sandhills. But you have to, when you're starting out on your own, you have to weigh those things that, like, there's just not a starter place in the Sandhills. Like, it's impossible to find because the amount, the stocking rate's so much higher there. You're looking at 15 to 20 an acre for a pair, and you begin to invest more money, and your overheads and your upstart costs become really high.
Well, and we were really justifying like, oh, well, we could day work, but that's not the point. I mean, that's fine, do that.
Yeah.
But that's not the point is to be at your own place.
Right. Yeah, good. And I'll just say that I think impossible is a little bit big. Very difficult is what I would prefer. Is that work? Okay.
But so we found this place, and it was, Sarah wanted a long driveway. It had a long driveway, so sign the paper.
It does have a long driveway. That's true. Keep the kids off the road. Is that why we want a long driveway?
Yes, it was so frustrating how many places we looked at. Because a little sidebar, I mean, we were always looking at real estate. I think so. We didn't land here. We had been looking for 5 years, just kind of being opportunistic about it and not being in a rush was so nice. But yeah, every place, I mean, the home place was on the county road, which I get it. That was their old houses and, minimal cost, do it right there. But God, I can't just let them run outside. But yeah, that was a little heart prayer actually that the Lord brought through this place. One of those things you don't pray about consistently, but you're like, that would be nice. And yeah, that was it.
And then you found it. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's go through the process of getting it. Now you found it. Now what do you do?
Yeah, you start looking for people to finance you. But yeah, just thankful that, there's a lot of opportunities out there through like FSA and different organizations that you can tap into that we've found along the way that have been very helpful. And also, you have to remember, seek mentorship and guidance in these decisions. There's people that have been there. There's people that have walked down these paths that know more than you. Obviously, they're successful at it. Reach out to them, ask for help. Say, hey, what do I do? How do we make this work?
And we were asking non-ag people too, just people smart with money.
Good. So give us some examples if you don't mind. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you have a few that kind of stand out that really, really helped you think about either money or ag or your operation?
Well, our investor, I guess, or our Raymond James guy.
Yeah, well, your cousin Nathan, we can say his name.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's like your investment advisor at Raymond James?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right,
yes.
Good.
Yeah. Asking him what was smart, and then our accountant just kind of asking on the back end, self-employers, yeah.
And you can look at, we had some opportunities arise where we were going to be able to invest some money. Either we could invest it in the money market or stocks, bonds, whatever it may be, or in land. And so we looked at the thing, and it really came down to, what do you want? What kind of picture of your life do you want to take?
Yep.
You can put this money over here and let it grow and do its own thing, and it'll be there for your kids one day.
Yep.
Or you can take it and put it in land and have the same thing. It just may not grow as fast.
So essentially, we eventually had to sort out bone and marrow, really, of lifestyle is what led us to how to spend our money. And I'm sure you guys feel this, but you're kind of paying for their childhood. But that was good enough for us. So
yeah, we could have stayed working for the Rex in Nebraska and just let that grow on the side there. But we hit a point where it's now or never. We're still really young, so let's get after it. Let's do this.
Good.
So,
and kind of the timing with our oldest son too. We saw this as a starter place, and we'd love when he's ready. Because, succession planning is a whole nother deal, but we kind of have only experienced the hard parts of those not going well. And so we hope this works, but what little homework we've done on it, just more life experience. But we've decided, instead of putting so much emphasis on, man, this is our ground and we've been here for so many years, we decided, what if when he's 18, we say, hey, let's sell this place and let's go expand together. And so we just hope to keep, and then what if our daughter, she really wants to ranch too.
Mm-hmm.
So just what if we kept expanding and then they take ownership in what they're doing? There's not that, just the struggle that it can be for people to feel like, well, I gave you this. We want to avoid that at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Excellent. Very good.
So that's our plan for now.
And that's just kind of how we've decided to look at the livestock deal too. Is it's you can't be married to it. This ground is an investment. It's an asset. If you can trade up, sell by marketing, do it. If it's an opportunity arises, be willing, be ready to uproot and move. You have to be in this business to.
So tell them what we started with cattle wise when we got here.
Yeah, so when the place we ended up buying we bought a 320 acre place with a 160 acre lease attached to it. It came with the lease. There's no fence there. You don't even know it exists. Just kind of an old family deal that was locked in a trust. We got here and it was kind of in a low in the market, really. Bought a really nice set of red Angus cows. They were 3 and 4 years old. Bought them good, bought them right, just using the sell-by mentality. and started there. That was our virgin buy, our first virgin buy, and it worked out really good. They were fall calving cows. We bought them in late July. They were heavy bred.
We thought that was a set we'd always have.
Thought that was a set we'd always have.
And the sad part is Wally Olson rubs off on you a little bit. And then you don't always have them.
And I knew when we got down here, I was like, I need to go back to Wally's school again, because he always encourages that. He's like, come multiple times. And that was his stalker school in September. And I was like, I'm going.
Which it was hard to invest that money considering we had just started up.
Mm-hmm.
So just again, it pays off later, because we didn't talk about, we're also investing. A big reason we wanted to leave from working for other people, we both wanted to raise horses, and you can't breed horses when you're working for other people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not on your own place. And so, yeah, that's a lot of investment to start up. I mean, we bought a stud that year.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to stand our own stud. Anyway, it's just a lot going in different directions. But
we're zigzagging. We're zigzagging still through this conversation.
We're in the cow business. We're in the horse business. We're probably day working part of the time.
Yeah, not to sheep yet. So
we'll get to that part, but
that's year 2.
But no, we got here, and I was like, I need to go back to Wally's school. I just need to refresh it. And it was a stalker school, which was great. Again, the stockmanship got introduced to us up there at the Rex. But what I loved about Wally's school setup with the stalkers, it was the marketing, it was the stockmanship, and it was the health all thrown together.
Yeah. So that was that with Don and Steve Campbell in the fall?
Actually, that was with Ryan Brand and Steve Campbell.
Good. Even, fantastic.
Which, was so cool because he's in our area.
And then, that was perfect timing, because Ryan actually lives about 40 minutes from us. So getting to meet him and network there again, just...
Did you know about him before?
No, I did not know Ryan before.
Ryan Brand is a gold mine.
And so having that connection through Wally again was just phenomenal. And Ryan, like I said, is extremely close to us, and we go and help him work calves, and it's a blast to just have that wealth of information right there. Somebody that knows the region, knows the area, the ecosystem behind everything, how it all works. And it's been really awesome to have him, but zigzagged again there. But we'll go back to this.
So we bought our first set of cows.
We bought our first set of cows. I go to Wally's school, and I come back, and I'm like, let's see what this thing does. Let's raise these calves. And so we kept them cows through the winter, got their calves big enough to wean. And it was kind of getting dry. We were kind of hitting a drought. So I was like, okay, let's change gears. The market had come up, so we were able to wean those calves and sell them. I think they brought somewhere around $1,500 a piece. And then turned
seemed
around.
like big money at the time, huh?
Which seemed like big money. And
it was. I was like, whoa, babe, you know what you're doing.
We put those cows on the market, and I priced them at $2,200 and sold them for $2,100. And so we were, boom, good deal, good trade. And so then it was, let's start buying some lightweight calves. So started down that path, and that's kind of the direction we've been for the last 3 years, is just starting cattle, putting 200-300 pounds on them and flipping them. We've done one big steer deal that worked out really well too. And so just kind of been rolling through that, different opportunities as they arise, what the market tells us to do. And it's been really good.
Excellent.
Ranchite exists for one simple reason. Better numbers lead to better decisions. We work with producers on cash flow, debt management, enterprise analysis, risk management, and long-term financial strategy so the business stays resilient no matter the market. If you want to see whether that's the right fit for your operation, book a discovery call at ranchitellc.com.
Just out of curiosity, what'd you buy those first light heifers for? Or I say first, the ones after you sold the cows, what'd you buy back for?
I remembered that, and then it still rings true with me today. But it's like, if I spend over $1,000 a head, it's not worth it. Here we are. If I spend over $2,000 a head, it's not worth it.
Yeah, a little different market now, huh?
Yes, absolutely. So it's been really fun.
Value is like $3,500, and you think, man, if I can get them for $22,000, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, bottle calves. For anybody listening at a later date, bottle calves this month have been selling for $1,600 an hour.
Oh my gosh!
It's
been so much fun to ride it up. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So
cool. All right. So you're doing the sell buy thing. You're kind of in the Southern Plains grass cycle, and then you're working with Wally and a couple others, right? And partnered on a few of those. What else are you doing?
So yeah, this is when a big zigzag happened, but we never thought we would get the opportunity to expand as quick as we did. And so a neighboring section actually that adjoins our property came up for sale, and the guy that owned it came and knocked on the door. I'd never met him before. I had no idea he even owned it because he just leased it out to another guy. Didn't think much of it. And he said, we're going to sell. Because he came by in like January the year before. So we had a whole year to figure this out.
Yeah.
And he said, the 1st of January, I want to close of next year. And I said, okay. We were definitely interested. Keep us in the loop. We will start working, crunching numbers, figuring out how to make it work. Looking at that, like that's another big chunk. And it's like, okay.
So had we gone to Stalkers that fall?
We've been in Stalkers for...
And then that came?
Yeah. We just started trading cattle. We'd done 2 or 3 different trades by that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So running, flowing money and like a bit lucrative in a good way.
The cash flow looked really good. And then expanding and being able to pretty much double in size and a little more. It was like, okay. And again, back to that idea of what Sarah said earlier about not being tied to it. It also made our property way, way more marketable than it was before. Because there's not a lot of people that are going to go around and look at a 320 and be like, oh, there's an opportunity there. It's a very small market. But adding this and making our place almost 1,000 acres at that point makes it extremely marketable. People are way more interested in that. So it's like, okay.
So we knew we had to figure it out. Also, we're surrounded by a 10,000 acre place. And so that literally he's on our fence line other than that section. And he was super kind. And he said, I want it, but I'm going to let you guys see if you can have it first. And so that was a blessing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got financed and he hit the numbers hard, figuring it out.
We're still just trading cattle at that point, and I ran the numbers just trading stalkers and doing that deal in the horse program, which we can talk more about that later, how that's evolved. But it was like, okay, we can do this. And again, that idea of like going to different schools and getting educated, and the time I'd spent with Wally, and every marketing school, he always makes the comment about sheep. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be something here. Like what's going on with this sheep deal? And
at the same time, I had been listening to a podcast talking about stacking your protein per acre, and that really hit me. I was like, dang, that's smart.
It was kind of one of those decisions. We'd both been digging into it, so let's see what happens, and started shopping for sheep right after we closed on that place in January. And by February, we were in the sheep business.
Yeah.
Way dove off more than we thought we were going to.
But isn't that how you did your numbers for financing?
Was without sheep.
Oh, without sheep.
Without sheep. I did not include that in the cash flow when we did that property.
Ah, okay, good.
And so we got to looking at it and talking to different people, and they're like, this is what they can do for you. And so at that point, it was like...
So we got approved like on your stalker numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So decided we needed to add something, and sheep was it. And anybody that wants to get in the sheep business, I encourage you that the first year is going to be rough. Don't quit.
The learning curve is unpleasant.
Yes. Talked to a lot of people that say, we did sheep for a year. And so we talked to a lot of people about it. And so like hearing that, I'm like, okay, we're going to give it 3 years. Like we will ride out the storm. We'll see what happens. And I can honestly say year 2, here we are. And we are liking it.
Which
they're doing well for us.
Yeah. I think it's important too. We don't run sheep like sheep people. We run them how I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, they have to work for us in this way, mm-hmm. or it's not going to work. And so we manage them. We lamb them like cattle. Like, they have to be a pasture she's got to know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the first year, that's why it was such a hard coal, because a lot of them needed to be babied.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't fit our lifestyle. That's mm-hmm. not realistic to,
A little word of inspiration for people starting out. Like, if I would have talked to my 18-year-old self and said, someday you're going to have a flock of sheep, I said, you're crazy. That sounds like a terrible idea. I would not want to be a sheep farmer.
Well,
here
what
we
do you
are.
always ask me? Like, is this where you thought your life was going to be 10 years ago? And here I've now been married 10 years and doing this for 5 or 6. And it's like, well, that 10-year thing is getting a little more expected, but it's totally different than what I thought. So,
And one thing back to the sheep, as bad as the first year was, they were still profitable. As bad as it was. And it's
sheep
just,
have a way of doing that, of being very unpleasant and still making money, which is at least some consolation, right? It's like, well,
Yeah.
at least we didn't get kicked in the teeth both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think it's important to talk about networking at the schools. So also, I've always meant to go. We just couldn't with kids and different things. Because, we moved when we took the leap to leave a salary and go to our own thing. We moved with a 3-week-old baby, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Our third was 3 weeks old.
That'll get you out of bed in the morning, won't it?
Yes. But the networking, it's not only important on your finances and your numbers and your knowledge. The years that it was hard with sheep and the years that, we had a couple wrecks with some steers.
Mm-hmm.
What I found was cool just as a wife. It was so neat to see people he'd call that he knew through these schools, but not everyone, but a couple of the men were asking him, like, how are you doing mentally, man? Like, that's hard. Like, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I just really appreciated that as a wife too.
Yeah.
So just meeting people that get it, who have skin in the game, like you do, and are raising families oftentimes too.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, on a note, that same note, just a big shout out to Grant Harder too. Like, we haven't talked about him yet, but he's played a huge role in this as well. And at that Stalker school, 3 years ago, and he's only an hour and a half north of us, so he's been a huge part in a lot of this too. As somebody to bounce ideas off of, and it's just been cool how this community has just developed for us as we got here and got after it.
And that's one big zig, is that we moved here for a certain community, and we find ourselves now surrounded by a totally different community than we had moved here for. And it's almost like you guys had to go meet at a school to then find each other geographically. Like, oh, you're in my area.
Yep.
So learning who's in your area that's like-minded was huge. And we got blessed with 2 very good ones with Ryan and Grant.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, good.
So I guess back to the story. Here we are. We've done the sheep deal.
We're on our second lambing now.
Yeah. And so we're still doing the horse program. We had 6 brood mares at this point. This is another zig that we didn't see coming, but just the sell-by mentality, you get to look at stuff. And we bought the stud when we moved here, and we stood him for 2 years. Got 2 this will be the 3rd colt crop we've got out of him, and they're really, really nice colts. And we turned him out with the mares last May, and I looked at Sarah. I said, when we pull him, we're going to sell him. He just hit an age. We bought him as a 10-year-old. He was now 13, and it was time to make a change in that program as well, too, just because the numbers weren't really working out like we had hoped. We were hoping to be able to market more stud fees, market more colts, and it just wasn't. And we got to a point where, hey, we can mount our whole family now and not have to go buy them.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge, isn't it? I love it.
It is.
Yeah.
But we're still passionate about the program. We're down to 5 brood mares, really 4 that are breeding every year. And we got a 2-year-old stud prospect out of one of the crops. And so just going to keep after it that way, but at a smaller scale.
Yeah.
So.
But that was unexpected. We thought we'd stand a stud and, offer breedings, open them to the public. And we did that for a year or 2.
2 years.
2 years.
And so, just learned that that's a different world and a different ballgame. And you just, again, like this idea of these schools and these mentorships I've been able to be a part of, like, find what you're good at and get good at it. Like, I know the horse program is passionate for both of us. We're both very, 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 very excited about that side of things. But man, if that just ain't working, you've got to be able to evaluate it from a business mind perspective and say, okay, how can we still make this work? We enjoy it, but it's not going to be a main funder of what. And that's like, the stockmanship, getting better at it. And so our cattle handle better, our cattle health's better, all those things. Like, we're both passionate about it. We love the stockmanship side of it. And so we've really just gone down that path, and it's been an awesome journey. So
yeah, that's awesome. Cool. One thing you've mentioned a few times, like with the land, with the animals, that sort of thing, I am continually impressed at the number of people who are descendants of pioneers that came from long ago and far away. And it's like, man, this place that they inherit sometimes is a bit of an albatross, and they just feel this tremendous obligation. And obviously lots of that is good, but sometimes there can be negative pieces of that. And sometimes there are other opportunities that present themselves, and they sometimes feel tremendous guilt at even thinking about, selling the place that grandpa put together. And I'm continually impressed. And my grandparents were born in 1903, right? So, they've been around, or they were at the time they died, around a while. They both died in their 90s. And what's fascinating to me is their perspective was very different from some of these people that, feel these real long-term obligations of, our ancestors moved here from somewhere else. That's what they would want us to do. They would want us to go make a good decision, and here this thing's gone up in value and we have an opportunity to convert it to something better. Like, to me, that's the history of the American West in particular, right? People that came from other places and sometimes came under unbelievable circumstances, and built something awesome. And I struggle sometimes to imagine those people looking down on us now and thinking like, dang it, I don't want you to take advantage of opportunities. I want you to just sit right there, And it's like, boy, that just doesn't ring quite right to me sometimes.
That's so true.
Yeah. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful or anything like that, and just cashing out and hoarding the money. That probably isn't what they want for you either. But, the way you guys are talking about, building something with your family that then your family can continue to build on their own as they grow and develop interest is a pretty neat idea.
Absolutely. Yeah. In the name of legacy, what are you going to do? And we almost stayed in the name of legacy, but we were going to be hindering. Like, it was just a mental decision. We had to really work on our framework and allow ourselves to go, because that was very heavy. It still can be sometimes.
One of the other things we see is when the legacy is a thing or an asset, like real estate, right? Or like a cow program. That's not those are the types of things that erode, right? Those are the types of things that wash away over time. Not that the real estate isn't still there, but that, the purpose and all that. And one of the things that successful families often do differently than others is, instead of being focused on the asset transfer, they're focused on the knowledge transfer. They're focused on the vision transfer. They're focused on some of those intangibles, which are not, just a thing or a pile of money or whatever it is. They're really focused on what values do we want our family to express. I would prefer that my legacy was intangible, supported by stuff rather than just stuff.
Yeah. I wish people talked about that more. Just helping people get down to legacy and knowing that they can leave and still carry on the legacy, because we didn't see it that way for a long time.
Oh yeah, no, most of us don't, and that's not the way we're trained, right? And it's not the way the laws are written and that sort of thing either, which is kind of interesting. So much of asset succession is asset focused, right? And it's like, man, that's just one very small piece of the whole picture. So
absolutely, yep,
awesome,
so true,
very good. All right. Well, they had to run, but is there anything else we want to cover while we're together, or are we pretty? I mean, we're almost up to the current day, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say on the sheep decision too. I mean, we didn't even have the facilities for sheep. Like, you just we bought them heavy bred. Actually, the first land off the truck.
Yeah.
We're like, oh gosh, what do we do?
This is real.
Oh, it's so cute.
Here we are.
But we didn't have our ducks all in a row. We just saw the opportunity and trusted, like, we will figure it out. We will, it's going to pay for itself. And we bought our first sheep panels not till this year's work, right?
After you owned sheep for 3 years and decided you were serious about it, huh?
Yeah.
No, we did. We got some panels and stuff early on. I think it was before worked our first set of
right.
lambs.
We needed them for the work.
Yeah.
But the work wasn't. So we bought them in February, lambed spring.
Yeah, it was a fun lambing because buying multiple flocks, we were from March till June.
Yeah.
Lambing. So it was.
Yeah. It was
we
chaos.
didn't need sheep hens until that fall. So we had time, I guess is what I'm saying. Like it's okay. And we still don't have, all we have for sheep is panels. Because that was the thing too. We didn't want to make our corrals, like our main corrals, all sheep friendly all of a sudden. It got very overwhelming. We almost were like, we're not converting everything and having this style of shoot and whatever. Like, but thankfully we thought outside the box and we're like, well, sheep can be movable. It doesn't have to be a net.
And sheep equipment's a lot lighter to move.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The panels we got, I mean, yeah, it's no big deal for me to go tear it down and move it by myself.
Kids can pick them up a lot of the time.
Exactly.
Right? Teenagers can handle that deal. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And kind of on that same note that Sarah's going on there too, like just as you're starting out too, do not think that you need to go out and buy all this equipment and different things. We still have the equipment we started out with. We got an 87 Ford feed truck and a cabless 65 horse tractor, and you make it work.
Your pickup's older than mine.
You learn how to kind of suffer through the pain, like this winter putting out hay in a storm, getting ready for that, and it's cold, and you're sitting on a cabless tractor hauling 2 bales at a time, and you're like, man, it'd be so nice if I was in a heated or warm cab, but you're like, do I really?
But is it worth $100,000?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Even a buggy. I mean, what year is our mule?
The mule's a 2014.
But we bought it for 14.
He says like that's new. It is 2026, but okay.
That's true.
I will say on that note too, just holding each other accountable, because there's been seasons where Steve's like, he's penciling a skid steer, and it's like, God, that would be nice. But then I'm his accountability, and then I'm the sometimes I'm the one getting weak and like, oh, we could really use an extended cab feed truck. 4 doors would be so nice, Dave.
Yeah.
Instead of muddy kids climbing over the driver's seat every time.
I know.
Yeah.
But
we tried it, and it was like, you know what? This is fluff.
That's
and
right.
So we sold it. We're like, nope, this one truck is great.
Yeah, that got hairy for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was not smart.
Well, this is one of those things, I think, back to similar to our asset discussion. You as a married couple, you as an operator, you have to decide what's important to you. And obviously there are limits of what we can afford, that sort of thing. But even within that, there's still more that we have to choose. I would like to think I could afford most of the things I have twice, But, that, like you say, that takes some restraint. And I'm glad that there are times when my wife pushes back and says, really, you want to spend that much money on that? Like, that doesn't seem like it gets us where we want to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, being, like you said, John, like you guys have to be accountability and on the same page. And like, if you're going to start out in this business, you guys have to be, good accountability for each other, yoked together in the decision that you want the same things. Like,
and surrounding yourself with people that are living out those same values. Because we struggled for a bit being surrounded by people with $80,000 feed trucks,
mm-hmm.
And God, that's so, I love that your truck matches your trailer. And then you start wanting it yourself. And nothing against those, like, I don't know your numbers, but it's just, for us, that was not healthy because we're still in startup and we can't be envious. We will struggle.
Yeah.
And we know over and over again, comparison is the thief of joy, right? So
yeah,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, let's wrap this up if that's right. You guys, like I say, have done a wonderful job these first few years. This is one of those things that you're here now because of 10, 15 years worth of pre-work, right? So
yeah,
it's amazing how these things come together, right? You just sort of keep plugging away at it. And over again, I'm reminded, and I'm a significantly older than you are, and Wally's older than I am. And the older I get, the more I realize how important it is that we just have that long-term perspective, right? When we're in our 20s, we're building for our 30s. When we're in our 30s, we're building for our 40s. And it just goes on and on. The amount of change that happens in a decade is really unbelievable. You guys are kind of the same position with kids and that sort of thing. But, 10 years ago, I wasn't married. I didn't have any children. I definitely wasn't doing the ranch right thing. And I certainly wasn't podcasting. And it's like, man, here we are. And isn't this fun? This is kind of an interesting adventure. So
yeah, it's awesome.
You have any predictions for where you're going to be 5 or 10 years from now?
We'll see what the next zigzag is. I don't know. Just waiting to see what happens there.
Cool. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Any other final thoughts you want to share, or we'll sign off?
Don't be afraid to jump out on opportunities that arise.
Yeah.
Even though they seem very daunting and big, just give it a try. Go for it. Dive in. Sometimes that's the best thing to do.
You've heard the same thing all the rest of us have. It's impossible to get started from scratch in ranching. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, you can do it. You just have to be willing.
It's not the answer I was expecting.
Run fast. No, it
Yeah.
is very possible.
Yeah, but it is hard, right? I mean, it's not
man.
it's not just going to land in your lap.
No, it is difficult.
And we had just paying for education. I mean, even working with you, John, just we had to invest that. We needed help financially. Steve was carrying that all by himself and his mental load, and I couldn't help him with that part. Yeah, we didn't talk about that much, but just paying for accountant help. And that it didn't pencil in the moment, but it sure penciled later.
Yeah, because you're able to walk into the loan office or whatever, and you're like, I've got these hard numbers right here. This is our business. And that credibility means so much to people.
Yeah. That's so cool. We see that again and again, and it's so much fun. It's just awesome how that works.
It's an awesome service that you guys provide, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That is very nice of you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and sign off. Great to talk to you. Thank you very much for being willing to share. Like I say, these episodes are designed a little more for people that are in the grind and might need some hope. So, or haven't started yet, might need some hope. And when I look at your situation over and over again, I'm like, man, the great American dream is alive and well. And I just love the fact that is true, because I think there are so many reasons to be really excited about that, excited about the future. So thank you guys for being great examples.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, it's been fun.
All right. We'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for tuning in to Ranchonomics Stories. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please share it with a friend or family member who you think would find it helpful too. Be sure to subscribe and follow the show so you don't miss next week's story.